I
possible
don't
some
doubt
people
that.
have
Enough
delusional
tweakers and whatnot.
parasitosis and don't have Morgellons. I have not met one yet, though.
Imagine
Um,
that.
and some
Hasn't
people
met
that
one
have
yet.
pruritic conditions could think they have Morgellons and actually have something else. So what's really important is to determine about those dermal filaments. And remember that doctors might not listen to you.
Yeah.
So we talked about the matchbox sign, and I'm going to end, I think I'm going to just skip with this and end by saying that for scientists and physicians, not everything that we learn in university is the truth.
Ain't that
We
the
are
truth?
sometimes told things that turn
You can
out
clip
not to be the
that.
truth, and we need to be humble and
Yeah,
learn
nothing
to
wrong with
accept
that.
that we don't know everything. And we have to keep an open mind. And one example of that is that we heard a certain practitioner today talk about why veins look to be blue when they are in fact red. And he went on to say that this is an optical illusion. Well, I want all of you to know that he learned that somewhere. And he did say that he deserved the Nobel Prize for it, did he not? Um, well, he
She
learned
said,
that,
did he
but that is
not?
not true. If you do a quick Google search, you'll find out that the true cause is because that the wavelength of red and blue light is different, and it travels through tissue differently, and it is
Interesting.
blue light that is reflected back to your light. So you are seeing blue. You are not seeing pink. He's wrong.
Well, that was interesting. What's this one gonna say? Because it's even in the plants.
Forward with further testing. So this is my disclosure statement. I have no conflict of interest. We're not doing CME credit. So again, so just a little bit of an
Listen to how
overview of the
much disclosure
presentation.
they gotta
First, I'm
get.
going to be
That's
providing a
ridiculous.
definition for both Morgellons disease and Lyme disease.
Yeah, since they're
In
like
order to
one and the
understand
same.
testing, so all the things that we've been hearing about over the last couple days, all the molecular tests, you really do have to have a sound understanding of Borrelia species as a whole. Otherwise, discussing strains and genotypes can be very confusing. So I'm going to go a little bit into the types of Borrelia that are out there.
Let's do
and
it.
really give you the opportunity to understand why your test may have come back
Negative.
And then I'm going to do a little brief overview of the immune response, the differences between how men and women actually respond differently to infection.
Interesting.
We're then going to talk about the basics of some of the Lyme disease tests out there. Again, I'm not going to go into specific detail, otherwise I think I would bore a lot of you. And then what we're going to be doing is looking at the CDC recommended tests, which are known as kind of the horrible coin toss tests. And then I'm going to compare Lyme testing versus HIV testing.
Oh, gosh.
The reason being is HIV testing,
Why?
it's so good, and I think that Lyme testing really needs to get to that point.
That too.
So just a little background on Morgellons disease. I'm sure you're sick of hearing about this, but Morgellons
I am,
disease, it's a
but
complex skin disorder characterized by ulcerative lesions that have protruding or
I'm not
embedded
sick of hearing that.
filaments. So
That's
this
makes
is really
sense.
in part from an atypical production of keratin and collagen. So your keratinocytes and fibroblasts that are located within your skin just overproduce or atypically produce these natural proteins that can come out of the skin, so it can feel like crawling, it can feel like stinging. You can get these spontaneously appealing ulcers from these things breaking through the skin. So Morgellons disease, it is associated with a persistent Borrelia infection, possibly just a spirochetal infection as well, and there are these other multiple components. About 6% of patients with Lyme disease will go on to develop Morgellons disease. So again, this is a true somatic
But if you have
illness. This is
Morgellons,
not a delusional disorder.
thank
So
you.
there is true delusions of parasitosis. That really is a true diagnosis. But of patients with Lyme disease will go on to develop Morgellons disease. So again, this is a true